Maximus Analysis here for June 14th, 2016, and we see that we're testing these previous levels or very close to it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This was the last buy signal right here. Okay, again, we don't like when this is getting back and barely breaking. We rather it layer on top of the highs. So when I say layering on top of the highs, meaning that you get this, you get a pullback into a previous high, and then you continue to roll it up. You go up again, and you see that, okay, maybe you didn't get this one, but you see that there's some space between this high and this, and you take this and you go from there. We're getting into this basically grinding session of not layering above highs, and you can see that, again, if we take this same bar and throw it all the way to the right, that's where we want them to hold right now. Again, that means that we have a higher low still in place from these two areas, 1 and 2. Again, they broke one back, they didn't break two back. We still have the 200-day moving average, but we have to see. We have FOMC tomorrow, and they're going to give their forecast, and we know what levels we need to hold. Again, looking at a bigger picture on the ES regard to monthly, we have the 2022 area. So I don't know where they're going to go. And again, a lot of people might say, oh, this is setting up for great, them saying something good and it just blast off and take new highs. That's fine. Again, we know where we don't want them to go. And again, if we break back above this 2080 area, then okay, we feel a lot better. Now, when you're trading tomorrow, I would suggest the morning is going to be, typically it's choppy. And after, there's violence in regards to just swings, because a lot of people are guessing if you're on intraday, and they're picking levels that, again, it's just easy for them intraday to kind of give you a lot of whipsawing to just grab stops. So if there's anything I would suggest, you got EIA report for crude tomorrow at 10:30, and you have this at 2. If there's no volume early, you just chalk it up and probably start trading and just observe for the rest of the day is my suggestion, just because you don't want to get chopped up. So we'll continue to watch that. The NQ, on the daily time frame, we see that we're getting right to this little symmetrical triangle that we have here. So again, it's going to pop one way or the other. They're testing the 200-day moving average. We got to see what happens tomorrow, where they're going to go. And I'm not going to make an assumption one way or the other. We know what price levels we want to them to hold, and we want them to hold this 43.8950, because if they don't hold that, they're going back to 43.23.5. So if they do that and then crush it down again, they break this uptrend channel or at least these previous lows, and let's put something on the chart right now to kind of visualize that. We don't want them to break these lows right here. Okay, so that's what we want them to make sure is being held. It was tested twice, boom, boom. And then now we have a higher low, but we don't want them to break below that one. YM, Dow futures, again, we have the same damn thing at the 17,473 areas that we've been talking about. And crude, down about $1 today. And again, we have the level that we want them to hold, because if they break that level, we want to really watch the 46.5 level. Again, that means that they get back into this kind of grinding area. And as I was looking at it, I was like, okay, do we have a rising wedge setting up here? If you guys look here, you have a rising wedge that, again, if it breaks down, you don't want it to give a low high and then flush down to the outside. You want to make sure you're looking at both sides of the story. So let's look at a couple names quickly. We're looking at Baidu, and you can see that Baidu gave a little false signal and a bull signal again, and it came all the way back down. So you definitely want to see this held, this 155 area, 156.74 to be precise. You want that level to hold. Now, as far as down names, we had Goldman Sachs. Looked, it's coming back to test previous lows. You have DD kind of giving you, again, this is a tired type of look, again, and they're not making those same higher lows, and that's the thing that I don't like. But again, we'll look and see what holds and what breaks tomorrow. And you also had like JP Morgan Again, that's testing this 200-day moving average, but just going sideways. And they held these highs, okay? And you want to make sure that they continue to hold those highs. They don't want to break that, because then they come back and test this 200. They could be a really quick move to the downside. Just want to go over the day trading kind of philosophy for a couple people. You day trade where the volume is. So again, remember we talked about MGT for the last couple weeks. No volume, you leave that alone. Remember I said, oh wow, H, M, and Y, that's where it was. Well, guess what? That volume's gone. Leave that alone. Volume, though, you with being day trading stocks, you got to be nimble. You got to look. You don't try to stay in stuff like this. The move's gone. You let it go. Volume come back in. You look. You look to see if it gets remotely like that. The next one that they have is TWER. Volume came in today, high volume. See if it has continuation. Just a 30-cent stock. So you're gonna have to get the shares, which you should have no problem with. But again, you see volume step in. That's when you're gonna have to get in. This is just day trading stuff, but you want to see, and maybe you say this is too cheap. That's cool. You want to make sure there's some type of volume coming in so you can have moves to take, because right now there's still people preying on the MGT side, and that's it might go up, but why lock up your money for the next 2 weeks trying to hope for stuff? Take out, lock your profits in, or lock your losses in and just move on. That's trading. So got to be adult about it and look for stuff that has unusual volume in the morning. It's very easy to find. You don't have to find a ton of stuff. There'll be a lot of stuff out there. So again, take care. I wanted to just show that next name, and we'll see if we get that same follow through that we discovered on H, M, and Y, and what we said was lacking with MGT. Keep these things in mind, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.